And maybe do we make penguin flamingo shirts for our podcast? And do we make camouflage hats for our podcast?
That I can get behind.
That's something that we need to happen, yeah. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here is episode 2, where we take a specific craft beer and we let our viewers know how it tastes, how it feels, what we think about it. And I'm bringing back here to Big Dummies, Mr. Ty Crowden and Clay Collier here. So without further ado, let's get this show on the road.
Again, Conan Brewing Company. Like I said in the last video, this is a variety pack that we're rifling through. This is called the Castaway India Pale Ale, and I'll give you a little bit more of a close-up here.
Oh, looks amazing that.
Yeah.
A smooth yet spirited brew. It is as refreshing as the wind in your face when you set sail for an adventure. Wow. Hawaiians crossing the channel between Oahu and Molokai face a perilous journey. On Castaway's IPA is inspired by these brave and island explorers.
Cheers.
Here we go. Cheers, boys.
Yeah.
Let's take that first sip.
Talk about bold.
Wow.
Talk about bold.
Speaking of a punch.
That drink right there is going to go ahead and slap you in the face, and it don't mean maybe.
I'm just gonna get straight to this. Like on the alcohol percent here is 6, and it's every bit of 6%. And it's not hiding. Like in the last video we talked about, the last one covered its alcohol up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now granted it was only 4.2 or 4.6.
Yeah.
So still a little higher than the average beer, you know, but like my God, this one is, you know, but it also again it's an IPA, so we're not, you know, it's to be expected, but at the same time, it is not hiding that 6%.
Yeah.
It's there to stay.
I'm going to go ahead and put it to you this way. You know, this one, we've got somebody fighting rough waters in a boat there, and and rightfully so.
Yes,
You know, when you drink this, at least when I drink this, I don't feel like I'm calmly surfing onto the shores of Waikiki.
No.
I do
battling.
I do feel like I'm battling, and
It's a battle.
I'm struggling through uncharted waters. But I will say this.
Give it to me.
I think I enjoy the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a battle. It's like you're out on that ocean and you see a storm coming in, the waves are starting to get a little bigger, and you're out on your kayak there, and you're like, man, I got better get back, and it starts coming in fast. And it's pretty soon you're fighting them waves to get back to shore. And it's one of those battles where you're like, man, this is kind of fun. You know, you're getting a little sprinkling, you're kayaking, and you're like, man, I kind of like this adventure. It's tough, it's a battle, but I'm about it.
It's
you
a
know?
fight.
I'm getting after it.
Not only is it a fight, and ultimately it's a fight you win.
I mean, you take it back to Tom Hanks in The Castaway, and he had to fight. He was out on that island by himself for
I love
a
that.
while.
That's a great comparison.
It wasn't easy for him, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was tough. It was like a punch in the mouth, man.
It was crazy.
But he won in the end, and that's when I think about this beer. I think about that movie, and the name itself, the image on it, it's ideal.
A beer I would drink as the rain comes in.
Yes.
On an overcast day.
Like a day like today.
A day like today.
That you know the sun's going to come out.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You know it's going to come out around 2, but it's going to rain from 10 to 12, 30-ish. It's going to have overcast from 1, and the sun will come out about 2.
It will, yeah. They couldn't have done a better job.
They've created a unique beverage. They've presented a unique beverage in a way that aligns with the taste, and they've made a happy castaway of myself.
Absolutely.
It's almost very comparable to the pandemic, where we're going to get through this, people.
Absolutely.
We're going to get through it. Now, we had dark days, especially it punched us right there around like mid-March, and we fought through St. Patrick's Day. We fought through all these adversities.
Easter.
Easter. We're seeing all kinds of things, but we know we're going to get through it. I'd say we're 3/4 of the bottle through this pandemic, if I was going to relate it.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this, that I would say that Clay probably has an advantage on us all. wearing a flamingo shirt.
Absolutely.
What this castaway is going to do, see who can and who cannot take one to the chin and keep rolling. And I like that.
A lot. No.
You don't want to drink a Castaway by yourself.
No, you don't.
You want to be in a group of people you trust, and you want to be in a group of people that are going to help get you through this. But at the same time, they're going to inspire you. You're gonna come out a better person after this.
Yeah. The ideal way to drink this beer is with the Big Dummies. It's because we're kicking ass right now.
What I think is so interesting is how quickly things can come and go. Just with humanity in general. You know, the Tiger King, boom, out of nowhere. It's huge. Okay? And while it's still around, it is tapering away. You look at how, if you guys think back to, what were those boxes, those vapes?
Oh, yeah.
Vape boxes or whatever they were called, how quickly they came on the scene and how quickly they left. Now, Clay made a good point prior to the start of this podcast that the Jewel stuck around a little while longer, I think due to strategic advertising and things like that. But if you just look at things like that, whether it's brands or shoes, it's crazy to me how quickly people can get on board with something, and just as quickly they can leave it behind.
Yeah.
To me, it just feels like we're on a set of monkey bars, like just grabbing for the next fad. Just
we're always chasing.
Always chasing, and that's just a phenomenon. I'm sure that there's probably a term for that. I'm probably not smart enough to think of it right now, but it's crazy to me that people that's how humanity works.
And what is even more crazy to think about is those fads, those trends. That's all pre-pandemic. If you think about what's going on right now, nothing. We're all living. We're living human beings, making the most of what we can.
And
aside from
Tiger King.
I was talking to him about this a few days ago, but like when you look at like say the American flag, or say the Nike symbol, or like it's all about symbolism. Like humans are like drawn to symbolism. You know, like the symbol of the flag. Like everybody stands up and puts their hand over their heart or whatever, and says the pledge. Like that symbol of the United States, the Pledge of Allegiance, or like the Nike brand, the symbol. Like people just are drawn to symbolism. And like
420. We just had 420.
Yeah, 420. Like everybody was out. Like I don't know if everybody understood that, but like where like here in Cape, like everyone was out. Like the most people I've seen since the pandemic started, all because it was a certain day. Like if it was 421, like you're not gonna see that. But why? Because it was 420. Like like it's just the symbols of everything. Like the symbolism and the amount of like, it's almost like it carries a different load. Than everything else. And it's almost like companies. And I think there's like a study, I'd like to know this, but like there's companies that like pay people to like, what are you drawn more towards as a logo? Like logo is huge, and it's that symbol. It's the initial symbol. It's everything. Like these bottles having different things to look at. That's unique, and that is like that's a trait. That's a sale in itself, just to see what's on the next one.
I mean, that's why we bought this case, is because we're like, wow, that looked cool. That's very aesthetically real.
It makes you feel small-minded as a person thinking back on something like that. But like music is the same way.
Yeah.
I would like to have some sort of overhead camera at the next wedding reception I'm at, to whenever We Are Family starts playing. We Are Family. Start and just how people just get up out of their chair, push their chair in, and just start.
Just naturally do it.
Just feel the need to come out to the dance floor, and just it's just an urge.
It's the connection that everybody has.
It's so weird. Like to me, it's hilarious. That is so funny. That you're just drawn? Everybody's drawn to that certain. That's just a weird phenomenon.
What's funny to me is like the change in verbiage, like even personality. Like people that don't like they like, for instance, like when do we use like words like tropic or like bull, or like we talk about surfboards? Like never. From like the Midwest, there's no ocean around it. Like we're from Missouri, but out here, like we're talking about tropic, explaining things in a tropic sense, only because this is what we see and this is like what is in our mind. Yeah. So like you can control what people think, how they think, and like the things that they even say and how they describe it, the verbiage that they're using, just due to your symbolism, and like that you're promoting.
Go ahead, Sean.
And I don't know if our viewers have seen the Out of the Shadows documentary yet, but what we are describing to you right now is exactly what is happening in Hollywood with the CIA, with everything that's going on, and it's honestly insane, because all it takes is this picture right here, and you already have an idea implanted in your mind. You read this label here, you're like, wow, yeah, okay, you got a little storm brewing, it's tropical. You take a sip, okay, you're being exposed constantly to all these things that are making you believe what they want you to believe.
But like, I want to know, and an honest test. So like, somebody who hasn't seen this video and somebody that doesn't know this beer, we replace the logos with something else. Do they think tropic?
So okay.
Do they think?
I'm going to clarify that for you real quick. Okay. So when I was in high school, when I was at Jackson Indian, I had some sort of a home ec class, cooking class with Miss Jeffers. Okay. So what Miss Jeffers did was, shout out Miss Jeffers, she had Kool-Aid that was like the clear white flavor or whatever, okay? And it was the same flavor. So she had us taste test Kool-Aid, but she gave us different samples of the same Kool-Aid, okay? She would put different food coloring in like 5 samples.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and so what we would do is we'd taste test, okay, there was a purple, a red, a green, an orange, a blue, so on and so forth. Okay, we would taste test, okay, I would drink the purple. That kind of tastes like grape. So I'd write that, grape, okay. That would be my guess for the flavor. Taste the blue, that might be blueberry. Okay, taste the red, that's probably cherry. Okay, orange, that's orange. Okay, we all turned, the whole class turned these sheets in that we filled out with similar responses.
Yeah.
The whole class drank the same white Kool-Aid on every trial, on every attempt.
Right.
And it was just the thought that, well, it's this color, it's supposed to taste this way.
Automatically associated with that.
Yes.
Yeah. Symbolism, like the color,
yes.
It's just all symbolism.
Yes.
And that's like I was trying to explain to you, like we talked on the front porch, that's what I was saying earlier. Like I was just looking at the flag, like it's like inspired. Like looking at that, like just seeing that, like that was inspiring. It's like it was a sunny day there. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Blowing, the eagle was on the end of the pole. Mm-hmm. But that's all symbolism. Like had like our national bird been a turkey. Like, with like we wouldn't think any different of an eagle. Like we would just be like, oh, that's a freaking eagle. Like just like we do turkeys. Oh, that's just a turkey. Yeah. Oh, that's just an eagle. And like, so it's not that the fact that the eagle has something special.
And how did that eagle make you feel? How did that flag make you feel?
I felt inspired. But who?
Yes.
But who? And here's the deal: is like, who's deciding that the eagle is our national bird?
Yeah.
Politicians, people of power. People in the, so this goes to show you, like, and this goes back. This goes way back. I mean, this goes to the beginning of time.
Something as simple as that color or that animal makes you feel this way.
Yeah.
Think about all of the media you take in, as far as Instagram, Twitter, movies, Netflix, music. Think about all that.
It's insane.
You're just constantly being
fed this symbol, that symbol, this symbol, that symbol.
Strategically.
Until they get you exactly what they want you to be thinking.
And that's why I like and here's one thing I did take from college, like and I I'm not a huge fan of college. I mean, I got my degree, I'm working on a master's, so like I get it, like I know it's necessary for me to like further myself in the career field that I'm in, but as far as like just being like a great thing, like I didn't graduate college on graduation day. I didn't say, "Oh, I'm smarter." Like I literally looked at my parents and Ty, and said, like I don't feel any different than when I started. Like I feel like I could have just done this, and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm not a huge seller on that, but just looking at just that alone, like just because you have a degree, because you have that piece of paper, like there's people like, but this just goes back to symbolism things, like people wouldn't know if you don't have a degree. Like there was a superintendent somewhere that like forced all his degrees, and they still hired him.
Yeah.
So like you're telling me you interviewed that guy, he filled out paperwork, you talked to him face to face and felt that he was competent enough to run a school district, yet he didn't even have a degree or go to any of the schooling that other people did that interviewed for that same job. It's just because you have that piece of paper. Now, honestly, like it takes a lot of work to get that piece of paper. I'm not discrediting that, but like just the simple say of like people don't know that if you really have it, they'll still hire you. Like it's just the symbol of that piece of paper.
Last sip here, guys. Here we go. Cheers. All right. Let's go ahead and give these beers a little rating. How about it?
I'm all about it.
All right. So here we go. First rating. Let's go aestheticness. So how the bottle looks, how it pleases the eye. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one, I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10 because the way that the bottle appears, the way you view the bottle, the detail, the artistic design, the words behind it, it embodies the beer fully. So I'm gonna say, okay, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 9 too, just because I feel like this was a lot more honest, like just an honest bottle about what you're about to get into. It's just very open and honest about what you're opening there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I went with 9 on the last one. I'm gonna go 9 here. You know, it's pleasing. The pastel colors, the representation, the picture on the front goes directly with how it tastes, along with the comfort of the bottle. I just think it's a 9 out of 10.
Absolutely. And what I really wanted to get out of this bottle here is the fact that the aestheticness, the way the bottle appears, it just really, really embodies how it tastes. The initial flavors. This one, I'm gonna say an 8 because as soon as you take a swig of that drink, it hits you. It has every bit of all the flavors immediately in your mouth. And I'm gonna use the same verbiage. It's a punch in the mouth of exactly what the beer wants you to feel. It is ideal.
So it's the initial flavor. To be honest with you, my first, and I'm gonna go on my first sip every time, just to keep it honest, but I'm gonna say a 6.
6.
First, like that may be unpopular, but it wasn't like when I first took a sip the first time of the first beer, I was like, wow, like that's pretty good. This one was like it was there, definitely there, like you know what you're drinking, but it wasn't as like tasteful to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with a 6. Like it's definitely good, but I'm gonna go with a 6.
I'm gonna go ahead and go just a step up from a 6. I'm gonna go 7. It is an IPA, so it is bitter from the get-go. I've had some experience with IPAs in the past, and I can appreciate that though. So that's why I don't let that negatively impact my thoughts on the drink. So from the get-go, it is a little bitter if you're not experienced with IPAs. I think it's decently flavorful. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7.
Right. Yep. All right, guys. Next one here is the aftertaste, the final taste. What you're ingesting after you swallow. What you're feeling in your mouth. The aromas, the scents, everything you got in your mouth after you swallow. There, I'm gonna have to give it I would say 6 there because I feel like the longer it's in your mouth, the less flavor it has. Honestly, I feel like. The initial kick, it's good. There's a lot of flavor. It's very bold. Once you swallow it, it's got a little bitter aftertaste, which is expected from an IPA, but it's a little weak. It's a weak flavor. I feel it's a little bit, like I said, watery on the last one. I don't know. It's not all there on the aftertaste for me.
I'm gonna go a higher rating on the aftertaste than the first, just because I think it for me, like the flavor was better the longer it sat, and like, but it's not as good as the last one. So I'm gonna go with a 7, but it doesn't. And the reason why it's not as good as the last one is because it leaves my mouth a little bit more dry, which is that IPA.
Yeah.
You know, it leaves it more dry, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I'm not gonna let that affect I'm gonna try to stay as unbiased possible because I'm not an IPA fan, like I said. But I would say a 7 just because it does have a good taste. Just a lot of dryness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and go 6 on it. I'm gonna kind of continue on what Sean said. I feel like afterward the flavor was a little bit weak. It was very flavorful and it had that bitter flavor to it from the get-go, but it didn't leave you. I'm big on somebody or on things like you need to know where it came from.
Yeah.
Right. So it didn't remind me of my roots, and by saying that I mean where I started when I began my sip. So it left me wondering, and that's why I'm gonna go with 6.
Yeah. It doesn't make you long for more like the last beer.
Right.
It made you want another drink.
Right.
This one, it's like the aftertaste is like, let's get the next beer.
You gotta take it. You gotta get another sip just to remind yourself
What it's like. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
Overall, a solid beer. Just well done.
It's perfect.
Well done once again by Kona Brewing Company.
Yeah.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in and hearing all our thoughts and what we had to say about it, the beer, along with other things going on in life. Anything you guys would like to say?
Thanks.
We appreciate your support. And as always, things always work out the best for those who make the best of their situations.
Big Dummy signing off.